Backrooms is among the buzziest horror titles coming out this year. Directed by Kane Parsons, who's only 20 years old, it's based on his web series, which itself was inspired by the enduring creepypasta Backrooms phenomenon, making it what's called an exercise in liminal horror. So what is that, you may ask? Liminal horror is a style built around feelings of unease, emptiness, disorientation, and unfamiliar familiarity rather than monsters, gore, or jump scares. In a genre like this, less is more, and certainly it makes Backrooms a unique piece of horror movie making. So in this, Clark, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, is the owner of a discount furniture store in 1990, who discovers a strange hidden room in his shop. It turns out the room is a portal to an endless maze existing in a realm that's somewhere outside of our reality. So I'm somewhat ignorant when it comes to the whole Backrooms mythology, and I went into this wholly unaware of either the creepypasta or really Parsons shorts. I knew there was some kind of mythology that was built around them, but I avoided digging too deeply into it because I wanted to see if Backrooms worked as a film in its own right for a general audience. While it would likely play even stronger for fans of Parsons' series, the barrier to entry is refreshingly low. It helps that Parsons recruited two terrific actors for the lead, with Ejiofor's natural intensity making him perfect for the frustrated Clark. A former architect, he's now a barely functioning alcoholic living out of his cheap furniture store after being kicked out by his wife. His therapist, Renate Rensfie's Mary, is trying to help him deal with his issues, although she seems haunted by deep-rooted trauma of her own, much of which is only hinted at throughout the film. Yet it's the Backrooms themselves that are arguably the true stars of Parsons' film. Existing in what feels like another dimension, they're both familiar and deeply unreal. As Clark says, imagine someone who's never seen a dog being asked to draw a picture of one based only on a verbal description. That's what the rooms feel like, with their ugly yellow fluorescent lights, staircases leading nowhere, and gradually shrinking spaces. The film is at its best when following Clark and later Mary as they explore the seemingly endless maze, which also happens to be populated by figures who, like the rooms themselves, feel both real and unreal, and maybe dangerous. The movie's most intriguing aspect is trying to figure out exactly what the Backrooms are, with the groundwork clearly being laid for what could become a major franchise for A24. Actors like Mark Duplass pop in for small roles that hint at a much larger mythology waiting to unfold. Despite being only 20, Parsons does a good job recreating a period aesthetic, with the film, of course, set in 1990. The vibe of an early 90s department store is well observed, and I especially appreciated some of the unusually deep-cut needle drops, such as the Payola's Eyes of a Stranger, which was kind of a Canadian content classic here, and I didn't realize actually had any kind of foothold in the US. My only real issue with Backrooms is that it runs a little too long, with some pacing issues making it feel lengthier than its 105-minute running time. I also didn't find it especially scary, although I suspect that may be somewhat generational, and I can easily see it working as a strong entry-level horror movie for teens. It's rated R, but that's probably just for intensity and a little bit of gore. But I thought it was a pretty soft R, so if you have young people that you know in your life that really want to see this and you're thinking it might be a little too much for them, I'd say let them check it out. It's really not that rough. Heck, it may even encourage younger horror viewers who are kind of coming of age to seek out the works that clearly influenced Parsons, with the David Lynch influence particularly strong. Backrooms didn't wholly work for me, but I was intrigued enough to go along for the ride, and if A24 inevitably makes another one, and based on pre-sales that seems like a no-brainer, I'd be on board. I give it a solid 7 out of 10.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo remains an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.